This game does not save any save files, so you have to redo your settings each time. That's right. This is Virtua Fighter 10th anniversary. This is the North American version on the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution disc. You boot up Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution and then go to the options setting on the main menu and then go to a menu entry called Special, and it'll ask you if you want to save, and then it'll ask you if you want to run Virtua Fighter 10th Anniversary, which is what this is. There are two routes of fixed routes of enemies, I should say, in the game, single player. There's the VF1 route, which is enemies who appeared in Virtua Fighter 1. And there's the Evolution route, which is enemies who... Well, the first one is a Virtua Fighter 1 character. The second and third are characters who first appeared in Virtua Fighter 2. The third is a character who first appeared in Virtua Fighter 3. The fourth and fifth are characters who first appeared in Virtua Fighter 4. And the, what am I up to now, 6th and 7th are characters who first appeared in Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, or something like that. So we'll go with the classic one first. Oh, set that to hard. If I forgot to do that last time. Wow. That should be all the settings we need, so let's go. And today I am doing Kage, a ninja whose hobby is mahjong. I like to imagine there's just tables of ninjas together playing mahjong, fully dressed in their, ninja outfits, of course. Blood type B, 5'10", cool. So, you'll notice he's a pretty low polygon dude. This is on the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution disc. It came out sometime around the same time. I think in Europe it was on a separate disc as a pre-order bonus. I think for Evolution, I'm not sure though. But if that's the game it was a pre-order bonus for. In Japan, it was a standalone retail disc of maybe a limited distribution. You can play two different Virtua Fighter 1 style versions of the character. We'll do this first one first. And even for the characters who were not in Virtua Fighter 1, they still have low polygon style
Ready? Go!
models, as we'll see when we go through the Evolution route. Now, even though I set it to hard, and Jackie did do a pretty nasty attack on me, really the first three stages they barely put up a fight. The game uses the characters and their moves from Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. So I just played Virtua Fighter 4. I played Kage in Virtua Fighter 4. So it'll be interesting to see what changes 4 Evolution makes to his moves, if I can figure them out. I forgot what I was going to say. It's kind of a cool, whoa, his fist. Kind of a fun win pose.
Fight one.
Well, I did find Kage a little strange. Now he's got most characters when you push down and hit guard and kick together, most characters will do a sweep move. Kage just does his normal kick. It's like you didn't even push guard. So that's weird. And there's another instance or two of that where he just deviates for no apparent reason from the standard Virtua Fighter move setup, and it put me off a little bit in Virtua Fighter 4. He's still got some really cool moves elsewhere in his repertoire. But it's kind of like they purposefully sort of sabotaged a few of the standard moves just to make him feel different. For instance, his forward kick is that. Most characters' forward kick is a sort of leaping, like a knee attack or something through the air, but his is not. Now that was when you go from crouching to standing and hit kick. Maybe forward kick specifically, he'll do a flying knee. So it's kind of strange, like why that isn't just on forward kick. I don't know. Dang, this is stage 3 and I'm getting beat up. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, he's got a. Come on, Sarah. Wow, Sarah really does not like Kage. Now this is Virtua Fighter 1 style, which means it's Virtua Fighter 1 style rules, so I can't sidestep or evade. You can only go forwards and backwards. I was trying to show you another move that stands out for me as being kind of in a weird spot in his controls. Oh god, okay, they changed that. I couldn't figure out how to do this, and whoa! In 4, in Evolution, it's apparently just hitting all 3 buttons together. That's not what it was in. Oh, and holding back, I think. It was not that in 4. I tried that in 4. No, it's just all 3 buttons. And from there, it seems like you can go into other moves fast. Like Sarah and Jackie have similar things. That's sort of a level of complexity that I haven't really achieved with any characters yet. I'm just sort of going through them for the first time. That's my excuse anyway. Uh-oh, it's a ninja-thon. I forgot to put a t-shirt over that. This video is at 30 frames per second. Actually, I'm going to do that. And pause this and pause the recording. Okay. How do I get back into the game? Don't freak out on the game. Okay. This recording is only at 30 frames per second instead of 60 because there's a gross 60 hertz flickering, red and white flickering effect in the health meter when somebody loses health that I do not like.
Time's up.
Wow.
Fight 2.
So I don't know who won that round because I've now covered the top health bar and all the other junk up there, like the timer and the round win indicators, with a t-shirt, so I don't have to see the flicker here on my end either, where the game is running at 60 frames a second. Interestingly, Virtua Fighter 1 in the arcade ran at just 30 frames per second, I read. Well, poop. Pardon my sailor mouth. That was a mouthful. What he said. He is a very talkative ninja. I noticed that in Virtua Fighter 4. And they've given him, seems like they've given him a lot of new quotes, and that's the move no, that's not the move I was trying to do. Where's the move I was trying to do? Dang it, I can't remember where his pinwheel was. He's got this cool spinning cartwheel move. What the heck was it?
Fight 2. Ready?
It was forward something, I think. No, it's not punch plus kick. It's not kick plus guard.
Excellent.
Yeah, I forget. Wow, excellent.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Oh wait, there it was. So, it's just one forward? Maybe they changed it. Oh, that's not it. That's another thing that this game has is super slow motion, low gravity jumps, like Virtua Fighter 1, I guess. Another thing it has is when you try to throw somebody and miss, there's no animation of you missing the grab or anything like that. It's just nothing happens. So that kind of freaks me out. Ouch. I'm getting my butt kicked in this ninja-thon. It's almost like I don't know how to ninja. I was just flailing around. I don't know what he was doing.
Fight 2. Ready?
Well,
go!
That's his problem. Don't mind me, I'm just dancing. Just doing a little dance, interpretive dance. If you go. Oh! No, I hate that throw. It's not a throw, it's just a flip. It's to flip over the guy. Oh, he's doing fancy stuff. Okay. Just two ninjas on a big stone platform out in the middle of a big pasture. It's normal.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Pi is probably the character I tend to have the most trouble with. Just because she's so darn fast. Oh my goodness! That's a new animation, I think. I never saw it, didn't see it before anyway. I'm not 100% sure how I did it. Dang it.
Fight 2.
She's fast, and I guess we're kind of at a advanced stage. But the game doesn't really keep getting harder and harder, especially. Like even the last technically boss character is not that tough. Cartwheels. Uh-oh. The good old knee. So that's a rising move. You have to be crouching and then rise and hit the button at the right time. And maybe forward, I forget. Anyway, it's kind of weird. I was trying to throw there, but she was involved, so I couldn't. And there was no animation to show that I had tried to throw her. I just find that really frustrating. She's got one of those dumb throws too. Oh, that's a good throw. Lei. So I still feel kind of clunky with Kage. He's got a lot of cool moves, but they kind of hid them ninja style. He still doesn't have a sweep in the regular spot. I screwed that up.
Fight 2. Ready?
Tried to sweep and just get a high kick, which is often not what you want. Ugh. Why? How could I punch? Just wanted to punch. Dang. One thing I'm not doing is hitting her when she's down. The game actually makes that pretty easy to do. Unlike later Virtua Fighter games.
Fight 1.
Pretty easy to do without getting counterattacked or without too much risk. She was really uncorking some stuff on me. Stop it. Oh my goodness. slightly faster than everybody else. Ah, that was a cool animation. Oh, why is it not? I have trouble with this sometimes with him. Doing his... that one. Doing his grab plus, or his guard plus kick sometimes does not come out. I'm not sure. I think I'm whiffing the button press. I don't know.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Oh, come on. Ah, nice. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm playing so lame against
Fight
Pi.
1. Ready? Go!
Yeah, just keep hitting me. Wow. Wow. Oh, that was not good. Jeez. No, I should have done a down attack on it there.
KO!
Finally.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Well, I'll just stand here and just let her do the slowest attack in the world. She complains about how fast she is, and then... Still not doing down. Ow.
Ring out!
Ha. That was close.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Ooh. Often struggle a bit against Wolf, just because he plays so differently than other characters. You have to, if you're not paying attention, you can get stopped because you really kind of have to adjust to what you're doing.
Fight 2. Ready?
Can't always do what he would normally do against other characters against Wolf. I can't throw no whiff. Ugh! How did he do that when I was in mid-kick? Shit, no whiffsies. I was trying to throw him.
Fight 3.
Just,
Ready?
yeah. Here's the cartwheel, finally. Oh, side throw. Uh-oh. Can't knock him down anyway. Ah! Wow. It usually doesn't work. I usually get out of that, but no.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
What am I doing? This is where Wolf has me shook.
KO!
I'm just
Fight
flailing.
2. Ready? Go! Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Wait. Shit. Oh, Oh! I should have done it.
KO.
Hey. Superman, why does he have a mouth showing through his mask? Is that secret ninja magic?
Fight one. Ready?
It's just a mouth that he painted on his mask? I think my coronavirus masks that I ordered off Etsy are coming tomorrow. And they're blue, come to think of it. So, I can cosplay as Kage. Maybe I'll just paint a black mouth on them. Draw it on with black marker.
KO. Fight two. Ready? Go.
Wow, I have problems kind of similar to Pi, his daughter. He's maybe not quite as fast, but he does seem to be more aggressive. And he is pretty fast. Jeez.
KO.
Like Kage's elbow. It's just a decent,
Fight three.
just a solid little
Ready?
animation.
Go.
Solid sound effect. Now what am I doing? Well, see, I was trying to throw, but it didn't do it, and there's no feedback.
KO.
You're adjusting the focal length of the camera there.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
This says final stage in the lower right. Kira is the final boss. Oh, he's doing his Akira stuff. Uh-oh. Shit. I hate that throw. I
KO.
need to not do that throw.
Fight two. Ready? Go.
Oh, maybe they changed the... No.
KO.
That was not the throw I like.
Fight
Probably, so I'm just trying to play with counter throws right now, which is obviously a pretty low-C strategy, and it's not working that well either. Problem is, blocking just about everything. That is just not working at all.
Time's up. Fight
I can hit him
two.
after time's up.
Ready? Go.
Ow. It knocks me out of throw range, so I can't actually...
KO.
God, I hate that throw so bad. I hate it bad.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
No.
KO. Fight two. Ready? Go.
No. usually get a down attack in after a throw.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Down attack. Uh-oh.
Time's up.
What? Is he dead? Come on. Goodness. Now we get to the bonus stage against good old Dural, who is just a bonus character. It's a good throw. I really have a hard time against Dural on hard. On normal, I could beat her pretty easily because she was pretty bad at blocking, but on hard she's pretty good at blocking.
KO! Fight 2. Ready?
She's also a little
Go!
passive there. Ah, here she goes. Oh, she's really hard to see all of a sudden. What the heck? What happened to the lighting? This got weird. Can't see the round counters, so beat her. Sweet. I only beat her for the first time like a couple tries ago when I was playing Sarah. So whether or not you beat her, you can't continue against her because it's just a quote-unquote bonus round. So whether or not you beat her, you just go right to this end list of Virtua Fighter arcade and console games. Although it's a stretch to call the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Series games. They're just discs with pre-rendered 3D portraits of the characters and a music track, as far as I can tell from YouTube anyway. The actual scenes in the background here are the final hit you got on in the matches you won. So here's the final throw I got on Wolf, done in hologram style. So was that Akira right there? I wasn't really paying attention. I think that was the one he got on Akira, so they don't show the one on Dural. Which would make sense because that would change the timing depending on whether you had beaten Dural or not.
Game over.
That was the VF1 route. And I went to a couple of rough spots there. Let's see if the evolution route goes any better. Kage feels slightly smoother than in VF4, but not much.
KO.
pretty similar. I gave him a few new animations, and I changed a couple of the moves that I know, which there's not very many moves. What's going on? Although they did, this would be helpful, this change, putting that on just all 3 buttons, probably. Because I don't know what the heck was on before. And see, I kind of sped up there. A bunch of characters have this sort of acceleration move.
Fight 1.
The Bryants have it. Who else have I just been playing as it? Oh, now I can't think. There's at least one other character who has a similar type of thing. Besides Kage, I mean.
Fight 2. Ready?
Maybe I'll do some down attacks this time, but how about... no, not that time. I'll just... Not that time. I'll whiff every down attack I try. How about that? There's no move list. You can't call up a in-game move list in this. So if I wanted to see his moves, I'd have to quit out and go back to Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Okay, it's been so long since I've done down attacks, I just can't do them now. Nope, that's still not it. Every character has at least 2 down attacks. All of them have up, forward, plus punch, which is the one I'm failing to do.
Fight 2.
And then they all have at least one just attack where they just hit the person without jumping first. Whoa. There it is, finally. It's really not that hard. That was just stage 3, and in the evolution route, stages 1 through 3 are still also really easy. So, and because the enemies are always in the same order, you never get to fight an actual good Shun in this game, for instance, which is unfortunate. Ow. You get to fight a pretty decent Owie, though. The pants look so funny. Owie was never in Virtua Fighter 1, neither was Shun, think of it. So they had to sort of improvise a Virtua Fighter 1 style for her. Like, imagine what she would have looked like with fewer polygons. She first appeared in Virtua Fighter 3. I hate that so much. I hate that long throw so much. That is one thing with Kage that is a real downer. Not that he's the only character with a useless throw like that. And of course it's not useless if you just have to know what to do after it, but I just hate throws like that. Just do the friggin' damage. Give me this non-damage move.
Excellent.
Whoa. Just do some variety of punches. That little uppercut with his palm might have been new. I don't remember that before, but it might have been there. Kage was in Virtua Fighter 1.
Fight 1.
But all the rest of these characters after Akira in this route were not in Virtua Fighter 1. What the? I can't even do it. What is happening?
KO.
Can't.
Fight 2. Ready? Go.
I'm tired. I can't do really basic stuff right now. Oh. Boy, this is rough.
KO.
Hooray.
Fight 3. Ready? Go.
I hate it. It's really frustrating fighting Lei-Fei. He doesn't just hit you once, he hits you like 3 times, and there's nothing you can do about it after the first hit.
Fight 1. Ready? Go.
You're sitting, you just have to sit there and be like, yeah, okay, it's over with. No punch, jerk face.
Time's up. Fight 2.
Who won that one?
Ready?
I can't tell.
Go.
His t-shirt is blocking everything.
KO. Fight 3. Ready? Go.
Forgot about that slide. That's back kick.
KO.
Shit.
Fight 1. Ready? Go.
Yeah. They did a good job with these VF1 models, especially for the characters who didn't have them in the first place. You can kind of tell that they're, retro retcons, as it were,
KO.
because they look a little more stylish than the actual original
Fight 2.
VF1 models. I mean, because they look like somebody basically, low polyfied a detailed model instead of just trying to having very limited polygons at their disposal in the first place with which to design a character. Because you look at those VF1 models, the originals, and like Jackie just has this just freakish hair spikes all over, and that you would never design
KO.
if you had more polygons. I guess like Kage looks pretty normal. I don't know if this is accurate to his original. Well, actually, this is a secondary costume. I don't know how many costumes characters had. Did they have 2 costumes in VF1? I wish there was a good port of VF1 on a PS3 or PS2 or PS4.
KO.
This is as close as we get, basically.
Fight 2. Ready? Go.
Should probably pay attention to what. Hey. Oh. It's really kind of moving around. Ow. Crud.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Phew. Ow. My face. Ow. I don't know what to do. Oh. I'm not gonna outbox her. Still not.
Fight 1. Ready?
I'm not really getting into the flow with Kage. And still unable to do really basic things, which is not Kage. I can't even do a down attack. I just tried to do a sweep again. Of course he doesn't have the normal. I like that animation. That was in 4.
KO!
Oh.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
I don't usually have much trouble with Vanessa in this, which is weird because in other games I do have trouble with Vanessa. Well, at least in 4, but they did nerf her a lot after 4, so...
KO! Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Should do a down attack. Kage-Maru. Aye!
Time's up.
Oh, who won? Hooray! Oh no, I did not win. I lost. This is sad.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Down attack. Down attack. If I've been doing down attacks, I would have won this easily, but of course, even when I try to do a down attack, I can't do it tonight for some reason. Ow. Keep forgetting she can catch any mid punch. Or is it high punch?
Go!
She jacket. It's really annoying. Oh.
Time's up. Fight 3. Ready? Go! KO!
Shit, finally. Yeah, not quite having the ninjutsu flowing through me yet.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Now, Brad is another guy I don't usually have trouble with, but the way things are going, probably gonna have trouble.
KO!
Jeez. Kage has lower health than
Go!
think I got hit that much.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Oh no, come on.
Fight 1. Ready? Go! KO! Fight 2. Ready? Go!
That ain't that tough. I should have lost twice to him or whatever it was.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
So is the boss of the evolution stage, which is weird. It's not quite at a Kira level. I don't know why I'm letting him just punch me in the stomach right now.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Jeez.
KO! Fight 3. Ready? Go!
That is a Kira-like move. Ah, not that. Not the ninja nuts. Whoa. That was weird.
KO!
Ah, jeez.
Fight 1. Ready?
For Pete's sake. Ghost beat me.
KO! Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Jeez, I'm just letting him walk all over me.
Time's up. Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Ah, jeez.
KO!
That was lame. Really lame. Just not,
Fight 1. Ready?
putting any offense
Go!
together. Kind of worse than I was doing in 4, actually. Not sure why. try, the worse it gets.
Fight 2. Ready? Go! KO! Fight 3. Ready? Go! KO!
Gosh.
Fight 1. Ready?
Yeah, I actually got into a really good rhythm with Kage-Maru in 4 after a slow start. Here it's kind of the opposite. It's just so weird.
KO! Fight 2. Ready? Go! KO! Fight 3.
Oh my gosh.
Ready? Go! KO!
Jeez, this is so bad.
Fight 1. Ready?
Out of ideas or something. Yeah, go ahead. Whatever. Ugh. This is the worst. Getting slaughtered by friggin' Go.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm getting perfected by Go.
Fight 2.
Oh.
Ready? Go!
This is bad. That clearly.
KO!
Nope.
Fight 1. Ready?
I just want to get out of here. Just let me get out of this game. I don't want to play Kage-Maru in this game anymore. Something is wrong. I can't back up either. I can't. I don't think it's my controller or anything.
KO!
What is happening?
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
I'm tired of not paying attention. Wait.
KO!
Fine.
Fight 1. Ready? Go! KO! Fight 2. Ready? Go!
I've done that twice.
KO!
Finally. Eh. losing it.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Now, I only beat you once tonight, Dural. I got nothing to prove. Just want to get out of here. Yeah. Oh.
KO!
Hit me right out of my cartwheel.
Fight 2. Ready?
Me.
Go!
Okay, she's just hitting me really fast before I can do a single move.
Excellent.
Okay, that's good. Well, I was hoping Kage would be... they would have fixed some of the gaps that I keep falling into in his moveset, but he didn't really, so I guess it's just how they like it. I still hold out hope that they'll revamp his move set a bit, not the move set so much as the inputs in Virtua Fighter 5, which is where I'll be playing him next. I'll be playing Virtua Fighter 5's quest mode. So I mean, there will certainly be a bunch of changes because they made a lot of changes to all the characters between 4 Evolution and 5. I felt less competent with him in this than I did in 4, but again, it could just be because I'm just out of it right now. I don't know. That was strange. I mean, I typically avoid ninja characters, so I put off playing Kage for a while. But I got to like him in 4. I was feeling pretty good. There were, except for, you know, a couple moves that are weird. He's got a lot of moves that are cool. But I was having more trouble getting to them in this than I was in 4. So that's strange.
Game over.
I won't be playing too much more 10th Anniversary, at least not for a while, because I don't have that many more characters to play through. I'm not going to do... There is one more skill level that's very hard, but I don't think I'm going to bother doing that. Maybe someday, but not for a while. I'm going to take a break from 10th Anniversary, but so I still have to play through 10th Anniversary on hard with... who's left? There's Pi. There's Pi, Akira, a couple other people from Virtua Fighter 1. And one I just switched. I just hit the wrong button. Oh. Still have to do Akira, Pi, Jeffrey, I guess it's just Akira, Pi, and Jeffrey. Oh. Yeah. So just 3 more characters to play through, and then I'll be done with 10th Anniversary for a while. And I'll be sticking to Virtua Fighter 4, 5, and 5 Final Showdown. But, you know, all these old models are kind of cool now. Most of these came from Virtua Fighter 4. You can unlock the first model in Virtua Fighter 4 once you hit first dan rank with a character from Kumite mode. And then you can, it's so funny to play as these low poly character models in 4 when you're fighting, you know, nice rounded PS2 models as your opponent. So that's a hoot. So that was Kage-Maru in Virtua Fighter 10th Anniversary. Played really, really badly. Really badly. That was bad. I was feeling good about him in VF4. I mean, just aside from a few quirks, but now I'm like, ugh. So things can only go up from here in Virtua Fighter 5. That's my hot take. Well, if you suffered through all of that, I don't know whether to thank you or to sort of worry about you, but thanks. And next up will be Kage and Virtua Fighter 5, and I hope it's not quite as shambolic. I hope they make his moves a little more intuitive for me. I don't know what it is exactly, but boy, something's a little weird. Not weird, but just not my normal flailing around is not quite getting it. So fingers crossed for VF5. Anyway, there will be some attempt at Kage in VF5. And until then, make mine Marvel? No, that's not right. I don't know. Check you later.